try to nick along out there. I've been going out there several years. I usually just take one person, usually a family member. Nick got obligated last year to go with me for the second time.
Yeah, it was a great time.
We only got one hunt out there with really good footage though, and it's a bird I shot with a bow. I don't think we got the kill shot on there. A little bit of excitement in the blind. The camera got bumped, not a big deal.
I had to pull up the gun to make sure. I didn't think Dave was going to miss, but I pulled up the gun just to make sure if he did miss that we'd still get the bird. Well, I bumped the camera stand with the shotgun barrel, and I caught it right as soon as I did it, and I tried to get the camera back. You can see the arrow fly out and the bird, but you don't actually get the impact shot.
But I've been known to miss with a bow, so that's why he's backing me up. So, but we actually each had 2 tags.
Yep.
We filled all 4 tags.
All three hunts were fantastic hunts. Like the one that you guys will see here with Dave and the bow. He calls that bird into 18 yards and full strut, and you can hear all the hens in the background making the noise. He came in spitting and drumming.
Three or 4. I can't tell what they are.
I see 5.
Change up to the crystal.
There.
Oh shit, there's
7 I see.
Yeah.
6.
Zoom in. Red heads on 3 of them. Don't know what the beards are like. One in front's a hen. Third one back is, I don't know, it's got a red head. Third one back's a Jake. Both times. I think they're all Jakes. Yep. There's one hen in there for sure, but there's that one that's trying to strut. Look at him. Yeah, I'll take you. It's a nice bird.
He's got a full fan.
Oh, dude, that's a nice bird. There's 3 or 4 Jakes in there with him. Oh, that's a hell of a beard, Dave.
Yeah, it's a good bird.
He is. On the film. I'm not shooting. I'm filming, Dave. starts to scoot, I'll shoot.
Huh?
If they start to get skittish, I'll shoot.
Yeah.
Do. But they're coming. He's 47. He's looking for me. He's struggling. He's 40 right now. 38. The end of that front tire's torn by that tractor. He's 34. Don't want to shoot him if he's full strap. Why? They have 4 inches of feathers. They don't know your head. Unless I shoot him in the front. Help me shoot him. Sweet. He's 30. He's 30. He's 26. Maybe if I draw and make it spooky, just shoot him. 'Cause he might see me draw. He's gotta get to the right first for me to shoot. I'm gonna draw. Little dinky one.
Well, folks, there ain't nothing like killing them with the bow. I'll tell you that right now. Makes a whole different feeling. From 50 to 18-yard shot makes a big difference. It works. But we actually each had 2 tags.
Yep.
We filled all 4 tags. That's, like I said, that's the one hunt we only got really good footage on is that first hunt. Nick had shot his first bird. We kind of just sat in the travel area where they're going from feed to roosting, and the footage on his GoPro just wasn't working. We just had a quick setup, waited for the birds, and they came back and he got one.
All three hunts were fantastic hunts. The first bird that I shot, like Dave said, we were trying to get in between the travel corridor, and I remember distinctly that day that the wind was probably blowing, I don't know, 30 constant, but we had gusts to 50.
It was cold. It was cold like today.
Yeah.
Day like today.
We couldn't get the blind set up because the stakes weren't staying in the ground, so we actually hid behind an old piece of machinery, and I couldn't when we were sitting into the sun, and the lens on the big camera was shining, so we couldn't use that. So threw out the GoPro, and I got it all on film, but it's just not quality enough footage for you guys to watch. And the third bird, the second one of mine, I wish for everything I had that thing would have been on film, because we worked and worked and worked and worked for that bird.
No, it was a smart bird. He
Yeah.
busted us the first time.
Yeah.
And we had to do a lot of belly crawling
Yeah.
way back in the sticks on him. So it was a tough hunt, but we got it done.
Yeah, we got it done. I was actually frustrated. It was actually the day before the last day I was going to be there, and we both got frustrated because he came in and he'd come to about 85 yards, but he just knew something wasn't right. Actually, I think the decoy I had was a little bit too high up in the air. He just knew it didn't look right. I didn't get the stake down far enough in the ground, and it was about 10:30, 11, and we were both frustrated. And I remember Dave looking at me and he said, "Let's just go back there. If we bump him, you know, we've already bumped him again." I said, "What's the chances I get 3 shots at this bird?" And Dave goes, "Well, you never know." And like he had said, we went up to the corner post, and we didn't see him at first, but then Dave spotted him just over a little bit of a knoll, and we backed out for a little bit, regrouped, and figured out how we were going to do it. Belly crawled under a fence, through some really thick evergreens, cedar trees.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah,
we belly crawled quite a ways.
Had
actually.
some thorns in her hands and thorns in her hands and thorns in her knees, and Dave goes, "Well, let's just see what happens." So we both had our guns, and it was whoever had the shot, and that bird came to, I'd say, what, 10 yards? But it was
10, 12 yards.
Yeah, but there was some stuff in my way, just a little sucker bush, and I thought, this bird's not going to get a third chance, and I let it go, and I got him. It was the biggest bird I've ever actually shot.
It was a really nice bird. He was educated, so
Yeah.
that's why he busted us the first time. He was pretty smart.
Inch and 5/8 spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
But
beard wasn't.
And the trick to that one was where he was located. Nick called the direction away from the bird so he could come out on the loops, and keep that in mind, everybody.
Yeah.
Don't call right at the bird if they're in a situation like that, because he was off to our right, and he called to his left, and it brought the bird out for the shot. So, but yeah, that was a really good bird. That was
Yeah.
fun.
Wish I'd have got all that on footage, but you know, like we were crawling, you can't really do that with the cameras and stuff like that. But no, it was an absolute. It was a good hunt out there in Nebraska. Got to see some friends of Dave's that I've been acquainted with now the last couple of years, and just good people overall. Good food, good laughs, and it was just a good time.
And I'm waiting to go out again end of April. We're heading out back out. Me and my son's going to go this year. He has time to go finally after 4 or 5 years of not being able to go with me out there. So he's going to go, and got a few tags to fill out there again. So hopefully it'll be just as good as last year.
Yeah, hopefully they can get some decent footage too. I'll be sending them. Hopefully my turkey season back here in Iowa's wrapped up, and I'll be sending them with the cameras out there. I drew a tag for Kansas this year, but it was my second choice district, so I got zone 2, and I'm trying to find some places to go out there, but the public is pretty limited. I know landowners back in zone 1, but I don't know if Kansas is going to happen this year.
But you also have Nebraska tag
Yep.
too
Yep.
this year.
I
So
pulled
he's
a-
got a different area, with private ground out there. So
Yep.
he's got a lot of birds to kill this year.
Hopefully it all happens. And I talked to the landowner. I'm not going to give up any areas or anything like that, but I talked to the landowner the other day, and he's excited. I'm bringing another guy with me that knows the landowner that got me onto the ground, so he's going to be my camera guy. Hopefully that all works out, but I'm super excited, and hopefully I can get 4 birds like I did last year. Four.
Yeah,
That's the
it was-
first time I ever done that.
Yeah, I got 4-2 last year. Actually filled my 4th season Iowa tag, which I haven't did that for quite some time. Helped other guys and stuff too. But last year's one of the best for me also. So.
Yeah, it was crazy. But speaking about 4th season, the second video that you guys will see, it's not going to be published with Dave's Nebraska turkey, but it'll be the second part of the spring series that we have coming out on WEO. Me and Dave, I think we were both struggling towards the end of 4th season.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get on birds, and I was struggling to get on birds, and we kind of got together and put our heads together and decided we were gonna take each side of the property on some private ground that I have permission for. Well, Dave's always the one that's always liked to hunt timber. I'm a pretty decent turkey hunter, but I don't feel comfortable going into timber right away in the morning. I feel like I always just run everything out because I got big feet and I trip all over everything. So Dave took the timber on the east side of the property, and I took the field on the west side of the property. So Dave was snuck in there and had the birds roosted. I don't know what, 40 yards, 50 yards from you.
Yeah, but I got too close, I think. And they knew something was up. And and after flying out, they went the other way. But Nick was fortunate.
Yeah, I got real lucky. There's a property to the north that holds a lot of birds also. And the bird that I actually got on fourth season didn't come off the property that I had permission for. I texted Dave at, I don't know, 9 in the morning. Well, it wasn't that late, probably 8 in the morning, and I said, "Did you hear that faint gobble to the north?" And he goes, "Yeah, I thought I heard something." So I run a Woodhaven batwing. It's my favorite call to run. It's real loud and it's real sharp. And I said, "Well, I'm just going to rip into this thing and see what it does." And it surprised me, he answered right back to me. So I thought, well, I'm going to give it 4 or 5 minutes and I'm going to rip into it again. As soon as I did that, I knew it closed, I don't know, I guess 100, 150 yards. And I just happened to look out the corner of my eye and I could see him on the road. And he was already in full strut because he could see my decoy in the field. And it worked out well. I mean, he came into, I didn't have a rangefinder with me, so what I did was I picked a spot in the field.
My dog's got to join us, sorry.
So I picked a spot in the field and I told myself, when he gets to that spot, you're gonna shoot. It worked out well. Then you come back here. You got your bird the next day or the day after?
The second to the last day of the season, and actually I was giving up within, I didn't have another place where I located birds, and I went back down where I shot my first one of the year, and called, heard a few gobbles early in the morning, and literally it was 10:30, 11 o'clock, somewhere in there, and I was just, within 5 minutes, I was just going to say, I gave it, I think it was 10:30, I said 10:30, I'm going to go home, I'm done for the season, I had a good year. And I happened to just look down, and I seen a redhead coming at me, and I just took me a while, worked him in, he was silent 100% the whole way, and ended up filling my 4-season tag there, so it was a really good year.
Yeah, I tell you what, you know, that the first hour after fly down, and then, you know, the toms and the gobblers, they go with the hens, but as soon as the hens go to the nest at 10:30 to 11 o'clock, that 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock hour, that could be almost as good as right after fly down. My dad hunted turkeys for a lot of years, and he was fortunate. What did he do? 34 years in a row he killed a turkey, and I would say a majority of them birds were killed between 10 and noon. It's don't ever sleep on that time.
After they leave the first go around with hens, just a lot of times they come in silent, so just be patient. That's what gets turkeys. Is
Patience kills
persistence.
turkeys.
Patience
Absolutely.
and persistence.
And as soon as you think you got them figured out, they'll smart you. A bird with the size of a pea, or a brain with the size of a pea, they'll outsmart you every time. And that's what makes it fun, because no two turkeys are alike. And if you think you got them figured out, and you go out there and you got a foolproof plan, they're gonna. That reminds me of that bird. Was it 2 years ago? We had him roosted. We could see the birds in the trees. They flew down. They came back. This was just west of here. And we set up on the bottom side of a hill, but up the hill a little bit. And we thought for sure that bird was going to circle back around. And he was going to come down to the bottom. That bird come up on the top of us. But never did get him. But we flanked him and went around him. You remember that bird on top? We got onto him on the top again. Yeah, but that was an old bird. He had us figured out.
And he've had his terrain figured out. He knew exactly what was going on there.
And what he wanted to do and where he wanted to be.
Sometimes it works great, sometimes you just have to really work at it, and sometimes it just doesn't work at all.
It's just being humble.
That's what they call hunting.
Yeah, it's humbling. It's absolutely humbling. But that's what makes it fun. And when you finally get one, makes you want to go back for more. Plus they taste good.